All right, this is Spike Lee, and you're watching Reelblack TV.
Lights, camera, action, it's on. New black film revolution born. Movers, shakers, big and little filmmakers. Let's make a movie today, see where it take us. Halle Berry, Denzel, and Jamie. Terrence Howard, Mike D, and Spike Lee. Brand new filmmaker born every day. Put a camera in his hand and let him lead the way. Let me get an Oscar.
I'm Shivani, and we're here at the AFI Silver Docs Film Festival in Silver Spring, Maryland, on the red carpet waiting for Spike Lee, this year's Guggenheim honoree. Congratulations, Spike, on winning the Guggenheim Award. How does it feel?
Good.
Real good, huh? Glad to be here. Is this the first time at Silver Docs?
Yeah, but not the first time in Chocolate City, though.
Good to be back. Are you going to be here for a while? You representing?
Come November, I might have to move here.
Oh, watch out, DC.
The real Chocolate City. P-Funk up in here. Paint the White House black.
Oh.
Paint it black.
Sounds like that's what's happening.
Paint it black.
Spike, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. First and foremost, in your opinion, over the last 20 years, how do you feel the landscape of African-American film has changed? And do you see it evolving, and if so, how?
It goes back, it goes forward. It goes back, it goes forward. And, there's still the element of coonery and buffoonery with us.
Do you care or do you wish to comment at all about the lack of representation of African Americans in the World War II films? How do you feel?
I've said it on many records, and now the film's coming out, so let this film speak for itself.
Wonderful.
Open September 26th, Miracle St. Anna.
Now I know you have a lot of projects that you're working on. What's coming up next? What's on the docket?
Well, we got to finish this documentary on Kobe Bryant. We're still finishing Miracle at St. Anna. We're in the post-production of that. And I got to try to find my next feature film. I would like to say this, that the next, hopefully not too long from now, we're going to go back to New Orleans. And not just New Orleans, but the other regions that were hit by the levees and Katrina and finish up, because it's not done.
Never done.
When the levees broke, it's not done. Even though it was 4 hours broadcast on HBO, and you bought the DVD, it was another 2 hours. It's still evolving. People are still catching hell. We want to stay with that story.
One more question about Katrina. Why is it that you chose to leave the word Katrina out of the title, When the Levees Broke?
Because I think there was this misconception that it was Katrina that did it. That was not the case. Hurricane Katrina actually missed New Orleans. It was the faulty levee system. And you see right now in the Midwest and Cedar Rapids and all these other places, they have faulty levees too. The infrastructure of the United States of America is broke. It's broke. And, hopefully we have some new people up in there. And Bush and them guys, as they used to say in baseball, throw the bums out.
I'm sure you're probably asking yourself right now, what exactly is Reelblack?
Reelblack is a Philadelphia-based production company devoted to identifying and nurturing an audience for African American film. In addition to this show, we host monthly film events at the International House in University City and at the Point of Destination Cafe in Mount Airy.
Please be sure to check out our website. By joining our mailing list, you'll automatically have a chance to win this DVD.
Let's tell the stories that need to be told. Make them laugh, make them cry, for the young, for the old. Come on, let's shake it, make it and make it.
You know, it's actually something that happened very naturally. I always say that this thing came to me. I believe it's like someone who brings you a gift, and then he gives you some tools, and there are certain signs. You just have to know how to read them, and then everything else just happened, you know.
Hi, I'm Angela Henry with Reelblack TV, and we are at the Young Friends Society Festival at World Cafe Live. Actually, we are on your tour bus, IO. Beautiful name. Beautiful name. I understand it has a special meaning. Could you talk about that?
The meaning of my name, actually, it's a Yoruba name. It's a language that they speak in Nigeria, one of many languages that they speak in Nigeria, and it means joy.
They say one day.
The thing with me is that I'm not really from any place in particular, but my dad, he's from Nigeria, West Africa, and my mom, she's a gypsy. She was born in Germany, but gypsies, they're born all over the places, but they don't have a country. She's a Roma. Yeah, and I'm the very mix of that. Nigerian gypsy, born and raised in Germany.
So could you talk a little bit about your debut album, Joyful?
Basically, I recorded that record like about 2 years ago at the Sony studio in New York in 5 days. All the songs were, I wrote all of the songs, and I never wrote the songs to put them on a record. It was more like a journey, everything that I created while I was on that journey, and then I got the chance to make a record out of it. So it's my debut record is a record, a very personal record about my life.
Sadness covers my eyes, but there's still some room to see the truth behind the lie.
So going through your album, going through your music, it sounds like a lot of it has been influenced by family.
My father is the person in my life that has always been there for me, and he was alone with 4 kids. I'm the youngest of 4 because my mom became heroin addicted when I was 5 years old. And my father was the one to feed me with music, you know. All the knowledge that I have about music comes from my dad because he was a DJ in the 70s, and when I was 13 he passed his vinyls on to me. So today they're mine, and he would listen at home. He would always play the good music like Stevie Wonder, Jimmy Cliff, Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Fela Kuti, Pink Floyd, Paul Simon.
Where would I be today without you? Being there for me all my life. What would I do today without you? Taking care of me all the time. Where would I?
So the music just seems so varied, and I think that's how your music has come to be the way that it is.
In order for them to understand it, they want to know what kind of music it is that you play. When they ask me, I can never really say what it is. I always say it's very personal. And then yeah, but what is it like? Is it R&B, soul, hip hop, or this or that? And then I always say it's soul, reg, fro, folk, which is like soul, reggae, afro, and folk. That's what it is for now. But maybe one day it's gonna be the word is gonna get bigger and bigger, because I can't really name it, because my music is just like me, you know. I'm mixed. I'm not just one thing. Just like I said to you in the beginning, that it's difficult to say where I'm from, because I'm from many different places. There's a lot of stuff in me, and it's a melting pot. I have to say that when I was 13, I already wrote my own songs, but that was like, those were bad songs. I say it was bad because I had a lot to say, but I couldn't say it. I was not ready to talk about those things.
You always looking for a scapegoat, like everything is them fault, and never ever you gon' say maybe I did mistakes. You act.
When I was 20, I decided to leave Germany, and then I went to London to live there for a year, to be on my own and to be able to stand on my own feet, even though it wasn't easy because I didn't really have money and all that, but it was a good experience. So before I left, I bought myself a guitar, and on that guitar I started writing my songs, and it was actually the first time in my life that I started opening up about my life and all that. It was more like a therapy, something that I had to do for myself to become a better person, you know.
So when you were doing this, it was really just for yourself. Were you thinking this is going to be a double platinum album in France? You know, this is what I want to do?
I never thought it was going to be double platinum, or I don't know, like, I never thought about the success. To me, I thought about the success in a different way. To me, it was a way to be free. I bought myself a guitar because I felt like, get yourself a guitar. And the moment I started playing this guitar, I mean, today I only played the guitar for 5 years, and it's my first instrument today. I played the piano before, but I guess it was meant to be, you know. So this guitar talks to me, and I can talk to this guitar. It's like a conversation.
But one thing that I definitely see or hear through music is the ability or the quality to heal, specifically Down on My Knees. Can you talk about that song at all?
Down on My Knees was actually the song that I wrote. This song was actually like one of the main reasons why I then decided to leave Germany, when that was the last kick kind of for me to say, okay, I'm gonna go, because nothing is really holding me here. Because I used to live in Hamburg. That was like a city, at that time it was like a big city for me, you know, because I've never been to New York at that time, so I was like in Hamburg, 5 hours away from my father, 5 hours on the train, which was, to me, it was like quite a distance. And the city was not for me, you know. Everything went wrong, and people that didn't really, people that I worked with, they didn't really understand me. They were like, let's turn her into the next reggae artist. And so I refused the deal. I refused to sign a deal there. At that time, my boyfriend broke up with me as well. But it was never like a boyfriend. You know, I was like interpreting too much into this relationship, you know. I think that it was just like I was really in love and all that. And my boyfriend, he wasn't really, because he was an artist as well. And he was on his, not to say on his peak, because at that time he wasn't really, but he was quite like into himself being a musician and all that. You know, that's how men can be, like, really, you know, they're not it's not always about sharing and all that. At that time he was very arrogant in a way, and he didn't leave me for another girl, but it was a very personal story. And I wrote that song because I wanted to write down how I really felt that day, because when he broke up with me, I was like, yeah, I think it's very good. I mean, it's anyway, it was over already, and it's been over for a while, and it's good like that. It's out, and you do your thing. I don't mind. I was acting really tough. I was very stubborn and very proud, but it was wrong to be like that, because I was not only like that in that relationship. I was like that in general.
You were more precious to me than my own life. And down on my knees, I'm begging you.
I had a hard time showing weakness, you know. I thought showing emotions would be weak, being weak, and I didn't want to be weak, because I had to fight for everything in my life. So, but then I learned that with that song I let go of a lot of things, and I started to show how I really felt. And today we have a son together, and we are fine, you know. We're
with the same person?
With the same person. Our ways, they crossed again, and here we are today, you know.
So you all moved to New York. So now you're here. You've toured with Babyface, and but 5-10 years from now, you know, what are your hopes? What do you hope is gonna be for Aya?
I hope that I'm still gonna be able to play music, and that I'm gonna be healthy, and that I'm gonna be down to earth, and that there will be only good people around me, and that I can still enjoy my freedom, my musical freedom, and that I'm gonna be a mother of not only one child. I want to have more kids, and you know, I want to have a little bit of my mind. My focus is not only on my career, you know, because to me it's not. It became a career, but it's more my life, because I'm not writing for the success, you know. I'm writing. My success is my family, my happiness, my balance, and all that. So I believe that certain things, they come to us, and that's how the music came to me. Maybe my dad, he brought it to me a little bit. Just that was the first sign, and I say someone gave me that sign. I believe in God, but I don't want to name God. You know, I believe in a higher spirit, and I believe it's that spirit that brought all those things to me, and that keeps on bringing me stuff. But it's on me to read those signs and to make something out of it.
up, everybody? This is Respect for Reelblack, and I am here with Mr. HILL HARPER, who is in town. What brings you to Philly today?
Well, could you slide me that book right there? What brings me to town is my new book, which is called Letters to a Young Sister, Define Your Destiny. We hit number 5 on the New York Times bestsellers list already, so I could not be more proud of this book. It's a follow-up to my first book, which is called Letters to a Young Brother, Manifest Your Destiny, and it's all in keeping with my mission, my purpose, and using a platform that I have to uplift the self-esteem of our young people.
Absolutely. So how is this book a little bit different from your first book that won 2 Image Awards?
It's so different. It's so different. The first book was written for young men, and what I found in doing research and talking to a lot of young women for this book in particular is that, first of all, this book is thicker. The first book is about 196 pages. This book is 315 pages. The reason why is I found that with a lot of our young men, if they're doing well, they seem to be doing okay or well across the board. If they're not doing well, they seem to not do well across the board. With our young women, it's very different. Young women are more complex. They're more complex in a way where you find some young women may be doing well in school, but they have serious self-esteem issues. They may have great friendships, but then they have issues with talking to their mother. They may have body image issues, but then they play sports. You know, and so there's this level of complexity with young women that's different, and it exists in a different way. So I deal with a lot more subjects. The Young Brother book gets more into general, how are we going to lift up our life in a general way. This gets more in-depth with specific things because young women didn't need as much to me this rah-rah, okay, we're gonna make better, we're gonna figure out, okay, if this is wrong, this is a way to approach it.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely, and I know that Eve is a part of it, Angela Bassett.
Sierra, Angela Bassett, Sanaa Lathan, Nia Long, Gabrielle Union wrote the foreword, Michelle Obama, Tatiana Ali, Evan Ross.
Very nice.
Zoe Saldana. It goes on forever. Right?
Awesome.
So I got about 30 surrogate sister superstars, as I call them, and then I got, I have a few men as well. I got Evan Ross, who's Diana Ross's son, to have a young brother in there. I have Blair Underwood, Tavis Smiley, Bishop Noel Jones.
So what do you hope for young girls and readers to gain from this book this time around?
Well, first and foremost, I start everything off, and I'm going to say this in the talk today, I start everything off with self-esteem and self-worth. Because at the end of the day, I believe if you don't deal with the self-esteem and self-worth issues first, then everything else will fall on deaf ears. Everything that's a future-based activity. And a lot of people wonder, when you talk about future-based activities, it's education, it's financial literacy, it's HIV, AIDS, and teen pregnancy and issues around that. All these different future-based activities fall on deaf ears because many of our young people don't think they're worthy of the future. So I deal with addressing that first and foremost. And so it's about uplifting, and the reason why the FINE is in caps and the subtitle, Define Your Destiny, is because I tell young sisters to think of themselves as fine, as fantastic, as interesting, as necessary, and as exceptional.
I think that's wonderful. I only have 1 or 2 other questions for you. We must bring up Barack.
When Barack and I graduated from Harvard Law School, he was the #1 graduating student. He was the president of Harvard Law Review, had all these amazing offers, clerk for the Supreme Court, high 6-figure salaries at all these major corporate law firms. What did he do? Turned them all down, moved to the south side of Chicago, worked out of the basement of a church, community organizing people who had been laid off from local steel plants.
You went to school with Mr. Obama.
Yes, we've known each other about 20 years, exactly.
And you're also on the campaign. How's that going?
Campaign is going great. We're very, first of all, we're so proud of everybody out there who's done the work. But the new work starts now. And this is one thing, a lot of people are celebrating the nomination, which is fantastic. But now the real work starts. We have about 4 months to change the world. And about 4 months to have a huge impact. And where it's going to come from is new voters. Because the way the Electoral College map is drawn, it's going to require new voters in these states. Pennsylvania is a key state. North Carolina, Georgia, Michigan, Florida, Ohio, Indiana, Missouri, Colorado. There's some key states out there that people need to know how important they are, and also need to know we need to register new voters in those states. And if we get those new registrants, we got to make sure they actually vote. Part of the problem and part of the work I'm doing has to do with, remember organizations like Rock the Vote, and organizations like Vote or Die, Puffy's Vote or Die. Those were incredibly successful in registering new voters because they had this incredible outreach. They had concerts where if you brought your voter registrations, it's information, you got to get in free, all those things were incredibly successful. But the problem is the follow through. Doesn't matter how many people you register if those people don't vote.
Right.
And that's the key. So I want to make sure all of us work together to make sure we register these new voters, get people excited, and then also have a follow-through to make sure they actually vote. I'm encouraging people to be their own campaign managers.
Absolutely.
To literally keep lists of people you register, carry around registration lists, but then keep the information and call people a week before. Are you planning on voting? Can I tell you where your voting location is?
Right.
And then call them the day before, then call them the day of. Make sure they vote so there's a follow-through.
Right. Did you imagine that you'd be rallying behind Barack while you're in school and then he's very popular? Did you imagine that years later you'd be on his team and you would be, just...
You know what? If you read my books, you know that my whole purpose is to dream big. And then once you dream big, and I'll say this tonight, you dream big. Once you dream big, double that dream, and you still haven't dreamt big enough. Anything is possible. Any of us can achieve anything. And certainly, Barack was one of the top students. And he graduated #1 in our class. So, and it's a very competitive environment at Harvard Law School. And Harvard's produced more presidents than any other school. So the point is that anybody out of that class could be president. George Bush was the bottom of his class.
Right.
And he went to Harvard.
Right, exactly.
So it doesn't matter if you're top of the class or bottom of the class. The point is that there are people there that potentially could be president.
Right.
And ultimately the point is, what's good about this is this time we have an opportunity to actually put somebody who has intelligence, good judgment, and talent in the role.
Right.
And so that's why I'm working as hard as I can. And that's why 8 years from now, and I'm glad we're recording this, I believe 8 years from now, if all of us do the work we need to do to get him elected, which means registering new voters and make sure they vote, if all of us do that work, 8 years from now, he'll go down as one of the greatest presidents in the history of this country. His name will go down with Lincoln. His name will go down with Jefferson. His name will go down with Roosevelt. His name will go down with Kennedy.
Absolutely.
And this is the type of opportunity we have. But ultimately, it's up to us. It's not up to Barack. It's not up to anybody else but us. Hey, what's up? This is HILL HARPER from CSI New York, author of Letters to a Young Sister, Define Your Destiny. You're watching Real Black. Check it out and define your destiny.
We're gonna meet Dave. Tag team duo, 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
We are with 20th Century Fox. We're doing a promotion for the new Eddie Murphy movie, Meet Dave. We're on a 7-market tour. We've been to LA, Dallas, Atlanta, Detroit, DC, now Philly. Tonight at midnight, we'll be in Times Square for 3 days for 4th of July weekend. Then we go back to LA. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, it's all for Meet Dave, which opens July 11th in a theater near you.
Meet Dave. It's not how he looks on the outside. It's what's inside that counts.
Lean out and give us a big old wave. There it is. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I've probably taken 300 or 400 just today, and over the course of the 6 stops before us, a few thousand, I guess. Well, we're taking 2 different angles for 2 different purposes. One is for the mosaic movie poster we're gonna make. It'll be a replica of the exact movie poster we have now of Eddie Murphy, but it's gonna be made up of thousands of pictures that we've taken around the country, so people can go to the movie theater on July 11th and see if they see themselves in the new movie poster. So it's a fun, interactive kind of way to get people involved and let people know the movie's out.
This summer.
Oh, that's our cat, Boris.
Cats. Here we go.
We're under attack.
Yeah, boy, yeah! All the images get uploaded to the meetdavemovie.com website, so people can go see themselves on the website. We're also going to be taking select pictures from our whole 7-market tour and creating a new movie poster. It's going to be a collage. 1, 2, 3! People are very adamant about getting their pictures taken.
Down on my knees. room. She was not the